Hey everyone, welcome back. And from this video onwards, let's start with behavioral design patterns. And this is the last category of design patterns. And there are so many patterns inside the behavioral design patterns. And in this video, we'll be discussing the command pattern, which is first on our list in behavioral design pattern. So the name of this design pattern is command design pattern. Okay. Now, what is this command design pattern, and most importantly, what do we mean by behavioral design pattern? So behavioral design pattern basically means that governs the behavior of our objects, like how our objects are going to behave. Okay, so let's talk about the command design pattern, and things will be more clear when we see the examples, right? You can see that I have currently opened this app known as xcalidraw.com, correct? So this is an online text editor. Okay, as you can see, if I switch my tool, okay, now I am able to draw a line here. If I switch to pen, I can freely draw anywhere on the canvas. Similarly, I can even change the color, okay, of the pen, and I can write with any color, right? So these all things are command, okay? Whenever I say that, hey, right click here, so these are commands. Copy is a command, paste is a command, changing a color is a command. So in command design pattern, what we do is we basically make classes for each command, and each command is responsible for doing things of its own. Okay, let's try to understand with the code, but I hope that this particular example is clear to you what is a command. So everything is a command inside the application. Copy is a command, cut is a command, changing color is a command. So see what I can do if we go back to the code, and let's just close all these open files once. Okay, now what I can do, let's create a new Java file, okay, and I'll name it as command design pattern. Okay, so let's zoom in a little bit, and first of all, let's make a public static void main, okay, and then string args. Okay, so let's start with the command design pattern. So what we will be coding is, we'll be just basically, try to code the logic of this particular app, that is xcalidraw.com. So let's say that I have a class, okay, which is a whiteboard app, which is perfectly fine, correct? Now this whiteboard has a private field, let's say color, okay, color of active color. Let's say this is an active color, basically the color of the pen or the color of the line. And let's say it has one more method, one more data member, that is active tool. Okay, so tool can be a pen tool, tool can be a line tool, or a rectangular tool, anything. Okay, now we have an active color, we have an active tool, which is perfectly fine. And let's say we have one more string, that is string text on the screen. So I can say text on the screen, which is pretty much basic, which is fine, right? Now see, what I want to do is, I basically want to make commands for each of the thing. Like I want to make a command which can change color for me. I want to make a command which can basically change the active tool for me. So what I will do is basically, see, let's say that we have a abstract class, okay, abstract class name as command. So this is a command, and this abstract class, first of all, let's have a private, okay, app, which is of type whiteboard app. So this is the app, which is perfectly fine. And let's say we have a public method, okay, a public method which returns void, and this is named as execute. Okay, execute. And what this execute does is basically executes the command, which is perfectly fine. So let's make this this particular method also abstract. So I'll say abstract. Now see what I can do. Let's try to create some commands. Okay, before that, let's have a method here. I'll have a method, and I'll say that void execute command, which takes in a command, okay, a command, let's say any command. And what this basically does is, this basically says command.execute, nothing more than that. Okay, now see what I can do. I can have a class, okay. Let's say my first command is to change the active color. So I'll say change pen color command. So this is a command which extends the command, okay, which is an abstract class. Now because I'm inheriting a abstract class, I need to implement the methods. So I'll say implement the methods. So now my execute method has been created. So what I will do is basically, first of all, this change pen command, okay, needs the app instance, okay, the app. And let's make a constructor here, okay, a constructor command which takes in a whiteboard, okay, app, and this basically just initializes the app. So this dot app equals to app. Yeah, so this is done. And let's make a constructor here as well which matches the super app, which is perfectly fine. And let's say we have an instance here as well. So I'll say private whiteboard app, okay, and I'll say this dot app equals to app. So this is done. This is basically initialization. Now see what this command should do. Change pen color command will basically do, I'll say that this dot app dot, okay, I'll say dot. Now what I want to do is I want to basically change this active color, correct? I want to change this active color. Now how can I do that? I will say this dot app, let's make it public, okay, because if I don't make it public I need to create getters and setters. So I'll say dot active color, okay, active color, and let's set this active color to, okay, so this is done. Okay, let's make one more command, okay, which changes my tool. So this is active tool, okay, so I'll say change tool command which extends the command, okay. And what I'm going to do is first of all implement the method, okay, I'll say implement methods, which is okay, and then I'll make a constructor for this change tool command which takes in a whiteboard app, okay, so I'll say whiteboard app, and I'll say super, okay, super app, and then let's have a private instance as well. So I'll say private whiteboard app. So I'll say this dot app equals to app. So this is just basic initialization, and in this execute command I'll say that this dot app dot active tool equals to pen, okay. So I set it to pen, which is fine. Now see how we can use it. Basically what I can say that first of all I have a editor. So I'll say whiteboard app, basically I have a app equals to new whiteboard app, okay. So my app is now created. Now let's see what is my active color. So I'll say active color, okay, active color, and I'll append app dot active color, okay. Let's see what is my active color right now. This should be null basically. I need to run this file. I'm making this mistake again and again. So I don't have any active color, correct? For this what I can do, first of all let's make a command, okay. So I'll say change pen color command, change pen color command equals to new change pen color command, and give your app to it, okay. Now what I can do, I can say that hey app, do one thing, execute a command that is change pen color command, okay. Now let's copy this particular line and paste again, and let's see if our active color changes. So if I run this program, you can see my active color now changes to blue, which is perfectly fine, correct? Now let's see that what is my active tool. So I can say system.out.println active tool, okay, and I'll say app.active tool, correct. And if I run this program, you can see that my active tool is null. And let's say we execute a command. So first of all let's create an object. So I'll say change pen tool command, change tool command. So I'll say change tool command equals to new change tool, and give your app to it. And now what I can do, I can say that hey app, go ahead and execute a command. Which command do you want to execute? I want to execute a change tool command, okay. Now if I copy this line and paste it here, and if I run the code, you can see that I get active tool to be pen. So that's how you use the command design pattern, in which you basically make a commands, okay, you make multiple classes for each command, and then you have a application, and then that application can accept a command, and based on that command some action is performed. So this was all about command design pattern, and that's all for this video. Let's meet you in the next video. Until then, bye bye, take care.